Hello, Jenny Hall here for Honeybee Stamps. Today I have an inside Z-fold card to share with you. I'm using the Frond stencil and background cover plate die, as well as Perfect Sentiments and the Tropical Bouquet die set. I'm starting off my project with a top folding A2 sized card, which measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to keep the fold at the left-hand side instead of at the top. Off camera, I have die cut the Frond cover plate die, and then I'm attaching it to the card front. Now I'm going to take one of the two inside panels, which measures 4 inches by 5 1/4, and use the Frond background stencil to add some color. I'm using a blending brush and Shabby Shutters Distress Oxide ink. Keeping all of the color down into the middle area and then fading it out to white around the edges is going to keep this part of the design in tangent with the front of the card. I have these two panels here that are going to serve as a background for the inside of the card. Here is the Z area. It's cut from the same cardstock as the card base, measures 11 inches by 2 inches. The score marks are listed on screen, but basically you fold it in half and then fold each one of those halves in half on themselves, and it forms a perfect little unit. They're all the same size. It's very compact. We're going to attach each one of these sides to the inside of each side of the card base. First, we're going to decorate the front and the inside of the card. I'm using the Perfect Sentiments stamp and die set to create two different sentiments. I save all of my pieces of Arches watercolor paper. These little scraps are perfect for this type of project. Making the die cuts, I will now add some watercolor, and they will be really pretty colored custom little die cuts. This could also be done by using some heavy cardstock and Copic markers, or possibly some pattern paper. There's lots of different ways to achieve the die cutting. I chose to do watercolor because I have these scraps on hand and because I like the looks of watercolored die cuts. I'm using my set of Mission Magello Mission Gold watercolors. There's 36 colors in this set, and the colors are so pretty and vibrant. And I'm just using some greens. I have like maybe 5 different greens in this set, and I'm just mixing them around on the actual paper. Arches is a really nice heavy watercolor paper, and it takes a lot of fluid before it starts to react and give me any kind of negative folding or curling. It's very sturdy. So these little scraps are perfect for this type of die cut. So I'm trying to use all of the color that's come off of my water brush onto my work surface, and that's when I am dragging those die cuts through the fluid. Now I'm going to add some yellow to the top of this little pair of florals. I think maybe they're plumeria. I'm not really sure, but I do know that there's 2 pieces to each flower unit. So I'm going to give a little bit of variety and make the back piece a different color from the front. After all of the die pieces are colored, I'll use my heat tool on low to give them a nice little dry to make sure that all of the color is nice and dried before I adhere everything. As a last minute thought, I took out my Perfect Pearls and gave just a little brushing onto each one of the die cuts. Perfect Pearls is a really great way to add some shine and sparkle. It's super inexpensive. A little bit of powder goes a long way, and when using on a piece of watercolor paper, then if I were to use one of my sparkle pens or Wink of Stella, then it would dilute the color, but the powder goes on and stays on dry. Now to decorate the front of the card, I'm using just one of those die cuts, which is going to keep with the really simple, clean look. Now for the inside area, that is the Z fold, I thought it would be nice to add that exact same color that's on the background directly onto the Z fold area. Nothing fancy, and it doesn't even have to be uniform. I'm going to be adhering some die cuts directly onto this piece of cardstock, and this I thought would help to tie into the background pieces that are going to kind of coordinate together. Now once I have all of this inked up, then I'm going to use some liquid glue to adhere it in place. This could be replaced by maybe using some pattern paper, or you could get crazy and add some sort of foiling or gel. There's so many different ways to decorate this area that it looks like it's so much fun. So now we're going to adhere the Z fold, and I'm just adding liquid glue, and then I'm going to place it just to the inside of that panel. I want it to be close to the outside edge, but not too close. I want the card to be able to close. After I've got one side adhered, I close the card down, and there it is. Now you'll notice that it's not a perfect 90-degree angle, but that's okay. It closes and opens just fine. The card is meant to be left open and displayed in this position that you see here. So that way I am perfectly cool with the way that the angle is. Now I'm going to use some liquid glue or some foam tape to adhere all of those dry die cuts, and check out how nice they came out. And this card just closes perfectly. There's no buckling once I've closed it. I'm going to use those sparkly flowers too, and just put them off center of each other. I have some plans to add a center, which we'll get to in just a moment, but I thought it would be nice just to kind of move things around so that the back petal shows. Now here's what I wanted to do to the center. This is the Hot Tropics gem stickers from Honeybee Stamps, and these have a self-adhesive back, and they come in all these nice warm tropical colors, which is perfect. These are self-adhesive, and I can just stick them right down and use just about any color that I want. They're so handy, and I use them on all sorts of projects. Now here's a look at our finished card. It opens and closes perfectly flush. This will go in a regular standard sized envelope, and I think it's going to be fantastic when someone opens this and gets a big surprise. Thank you so much for spending time with us at Honeybee Stamps. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, please click the subscribe button and then ring the bell to be notified for more videos.